In this lecture, you will learn how to handle or how to respond to keyboard events. In this section, we learned a lot about DOM events like click of a button or focus of an input element, etc. Just like DOM events, we can also handle events which happens on a keyboard using JavaScript. We can also handle events which happens on a browser like scrolling up or down in browser tab or resizing browser window, etc. But in this lecture, we will keep our focus on learning keyboard events and we will talk about browser events later in this course. Now, there are three types of keyboard events: key press event, key up event, and key down event. So in this lecture, let's understand how we can handle keyboard events by handling key down event. Let's go to VS Code. And here what we want is, so whenever we are clicking on this calculate EMI button, it is going to open this model pop-up. Now to close this model pop-up, we need to click on this OK button, right? But what I also want is when this model pop-up opens, I want to allow users to close this model pop-up by simply pressing Enter key on the keyboard. So when the user press Enter key on the keyboard, at that time also this model pop-up should close by itself. Okay. Now to handle keyboard events, we are still going to use the event handler mechanism, which we have learned in our previous lectures. So basically we are going to use the add event listener method to handle the keyboard events. But the question is on which object we are going to call add event listener method to handle keyboard events. Because if we want to handle events on a button element, we call add event listener on that button. When we want to handle an event on an input element, we call add event listener method on that input element. So where are we going to attach the add event listener method to listen for a keyboard event? Well, keep in mind that keyboard events are so-called global events because keyboard events do not happen on one web page element. And that's why for global events like keyboard events, we usually listen for those events on the whole document. So instead of listening on a specific web page, we use add event listener method on the whole document. In simple words, if we want to listen for keyboard events or any global event, on the document object itself, we are going to add event listener. Okay, so here we are not adding an event listener on a DOM element. Instead, we are adding this add event listener on the whole document, on the whole web page. And here, the first thing which we need to specify is what event do we want to listen for. Now, as I mentioned, on the keyboard, there are three events which happens: key down event, key press event, and key up event. Key down event happens when the user presses a key down, and key press event happens when the user presses a key. Now, the difference between key down and key press event is that key down event can be handled for any type of key. But when you do key press event can only be handled for character keys like numbers, letters, special characters, etc. You cannot use key press event to handle the key press event on function keys like shift, enter, etc. So that is the difference between key press and key down. Key down can be used to handle any key down event which happens on any key. But key press event can only be used to handle the events on the character keys like numbers, letters, etc. It cannot be used on function keys. And the key up event is the opposite of key down event. So the key down event happens when you presses a key and key up event happens when you releases that key. Now you might ask in which scenario I can use key down event and in which scenario I can use key up event. So let's say you are creating a game, something like Counter Strike, and what you want is you want to implement a functionality where as long as the space bar is pressed, it is down, you want to allow user to fire. So it will continuously fire as long as the space bar is pressed. So for that, you will handle key down event. And as long as the space key is down, the user will keep on firing. But as soon as you releases the space bar, the key up event will happen. And you want to handle that event. And whenever that event happens, you want to stop firing. So this is one simple use case I'm telling you where you can use key down and key up. And key press event, as I mentioned, you can use key press event to read character keys. So whenever you want to work with character keys, you can use key press event. All right, so here we are going to use key down event because here we want to handle key down event on enter key or return key. And this is a function key, it is not a character key. And since we want to handle event on a function key, we are using this key down and not key press. All right, then here let's go ahead and let's assign a function. Now we have learned that whenever an event happens, whether it is a DOM event or keyboard event or scroll event, whenever an event happens, this callback function which we are passing here to this add event listener method, it is going to receive that event object. In this case, when we are handling this key down event, we are going to receive an event object for this key down event, and that will be assigned to this event parameter. So let me go ahead and let me log that event just to show you what do we have in that event object. Okay, let's save the changes. Let me open developer console and let me move it a little bit down. Okay, let's close this. Let me also refresh the page. Okay, now let's click on the web page first, because as we have learned, the keyboard events are global events. It happens on the document object. So if I click inside this console, then it will not listen for the keyboard events. So that's why we need to click somewhere on the web page. And now when I press Control button, you will see a keyboard event has happened, as you can see. And if I expand this keyboard event, and here we will see some properties. So basically you will see that the control key is pressed. So this key will give you the type of key which has been keyed down. So in this case, I pressed control key. So the key is control, and you can also see the key code, which is 17. Okay, we also have other properties, but we are not much interested in that. But in future, if you want to handle keyboard event in slightly different way, you can go through these properties and you can check which one you can use in your scenario. Okay, but here we are mainly interested in two things: the key property and the key code property. So this key code property is going to be unique for each key, and this key is basically the name of the key for which the event is being handled. Okay, so what we want is whenever the enter key is pressed, so if I press enter key now and if I expand it, you will see for that the key is enter and key code is 13. So whenever the enter key is pressed, I want to close this model window, and we are going to write that logic now. So here, first of all, we are going to check if event.key, if it is equal to enter. Okay, as you can see, the key is enter, or here you can also use key code. So let me actually use key code. So if the key code is 13, so in this way also you can use it. You can use key code. Then we know that enter key is pressed. So in that case, we want to close this model window. So for that, what we are going to do is if I scroll up somewhere, we are writing the logic for closing that model window. Okay, here we have that logic of closing the model window. So what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and let me create this function outside, because now we want to use this function at multiple places. So I'll cut it from here and let me paste it here. Let's provide a name here and let's call it hide model. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's call this hide model here. Save the changes. Let's go to my calculator. Let's open the model window, and when I click on this OK button, it should close that model window. So that functionality is working. But now what we have done is we have moved that logic inside this hide model function so that we can use it at multiple places. First, we want to use it here, and then we also want to use it when we are handling that keyboard event. So here what we want is when the enter key is pressed, at that time we want to call this hide model. And what this hide model function is doing, it is basically adding the hide CSS class to the model div. So as you can see, we are adding the hide CSS class to the model div. Okay. So before calling this function, we also want to check whether this model div already contains this hide CSS class or not. If this hide CSS class is already added on this model div, then we might not want to call this method, because this method is simply going to add this hide CSS class on that model div. So if it already contains that CSS class, then we don't need to add it again, right? So here, let's do a little bit more refactoring. I'll cut this line from here and I will put it here where we are creating other elements, where we are storing other elements. Okay. And then now we can remove these lines because now we have model div on global level and then it can be accessed from anywhere in our JavaScript program. So we don't need to access it again and again. Okay. So now I'm going to use this model div in our callback function, which we are passing for handling keyboard event. So here I'm also going to check another condition. So for that I'll use end, and there we will check if the model div dot class list dot contains. So using this contains method, we are going to check if this class list already contains the hide CSS class, then we don't want to call this hide model function. So here I'm going to use not operator. Basically here we are telling that if the class list does not contain this hide CSS class, so for that I have used this not operator. This contains method, it is going to return us true if this hide CSS class is present on this class list. Otherwise, it will return us false. So that's why I'm using this not operator. Only if the hide CSS class is not present in this class list, then only we are going to call this hide model function. Okay. With this, let's save the changes and let's see if this functionality is working or not. So let's go to EMI calculator. Let's open this model pop-up, and when I press enter, as you can see, it has closed that model window. And let me just show you that I have pressed enter by logging the key as well. So let's say console.log event.key. So we learned that this key is going to return us the key which has been pressed on the keyboard. Let's save the changes. Let's go to calculate EMI, and now when I click on this calculate EMI, it is going to open this model window, and when I press enter, it has closed that model window, and you can also see the key which has been pressed. If I open it again and if I press some other key, let's say shift, nothing is happening because this model window will be closed only when the enter key is pressed, and we will also go inside this if statement only when the enter key is pressed because we are checking that condition. So let me move this console.log statement outside of this if so that this statement will be executed every time a key is pressed on the keyboard. Let's save the changes again. Let's go to calculate EMI. Let's open the model pop-up, and here when I press enter, it is closed. And you can also see enter logged here. When I press maybe shift, you see shift is logged here, but it has not closed this model window. If I press some other key, maybe some character key, let's say D, you can see D is logged here, but it has not closed this model window. This model window will close only when the enter key is pressed, as you can see. Okay. And previously we learned about add and remove method of this class list, but here we also learned about this contains method which this class list have, and it basically returns us whether a given CSS class is present in that class list or not. Alright, so this is all from this lecture. In this lecture we learned how we can handle keyboard events, and for that we have used this key code property of that keyboard event. We can also use key property of the keyboard event, but this is how we can handle keyboard events from our JavaScript code. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.